Yes, sir. And we are live. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Obviously, as you can see, I feel much, much better. So shout out to that. Shout out to health and wealth. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. I wanted to talk a little bit about both what I plan to do and also the market coming up ahead, as well as some of the concerns that I have. Okay. So one thing I want to make it clear about, right? Obviously, you guys know I've been bearish for most of the year. But now at this point, I'm getting to a different point now. I'm at a point now where I see some companies that I like. And so although I'm still holding cash, I am also deploying cash into assets. That is where I am at with it. And of course, you don't have to agree. If you think that we are going much lower and you don't agree and you're like, why would you buy stocks now when we're going much lower? I want to catch the bottom. Whatever your thing is, it's fine. You know, two things can be right at the same time. You know, you can have your opinion and I can have my opinion. But I do want to say, guys, that I am going to go back to talking about individual stocks on this channel. And we're going to start to, do some little bit of deep dives, maybe deep dives. I haven't decided if we're going to do that yet, but we are going to talk about individual stocks. And we are going to talk about some of the ones that I like, one of them being Google. We will be talking about that pretty soon. And the reason why we are going to do that is because I am getting a lot more aggressive. As a matter of fact, this last 2 weeks or so, I've been getting a lot more aggressive in my personal portfolios buying stocks. And like I said, that's just where I'm at with it. I'm not interested in timing the market. I just want stocks at a cheap price. And there's been a lot of stocks that have come down to some very cheap valuations. And so I've been putting cash to work. But anyway, let's just talk about what happened last week. So last week, we actually did get a rally. All the major U.S. indices closed in the green. The Dow gained about 5%, S&P 4.7%, NASDAQ 5.8%. It was a pretty good week overall, and it doesn't surprise me. We are due for a bear market rally. Like I said, the market never just goes straight down. So I do think that we are due for some type of rally. And I guess some people out there can argue that the reason why we actually got that rally is for a number of different things. One, on Friday, the Bank of Japan intervened in order to support the yen. And then also around that same time, the Federal Reserve let it be known that they could slow the pace of its interest rate increases late this year into 2023. And the reason why we got that is because we got that from a report from the Wall Street Journal that showed that some officials are signaling a desire to slow down the pace of the increase soon in order to gauge the impact of such tightening on growth. So I really want people to understand there is a difference between a pause and a complete reversal. So I just want to make sure people understand this. Just because the Federal Reserve pauses on rate hikes doesn't mean that they're going to do a complete 180, a complete reversal, and go back to quantitative easing. I mean, it even says right here, they may end up pausing or slowing down the pace of the increase soon in order to gauge the impact of the tightening on growth. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. On top of that, earnings have still been overall good. But you did get some bad earnings out there. You got Snapchat, which always, I mean, we've seen this for several quarters now. Snapchat earnings were bad again, and the stock crashed 28% because the company basically forecasted zero growth for the current quarter. And this also triggered a sell-off among other social media companies like our favorite stock, folks, Meta. Meta was one of them. And, companies that are more dependent on getting their revenue from advertising. You know what I mean? Those types of companies were affected because of the Snapchat earnings. So just want to throw that out there for you guys. The Bank of Japan thing, we're going to talk about a lot more. But the Japanese yen did decline nearly 30% against the dollar this year, as the yen breached a key psychological level of 150 for the first time since August 1990. And this was due to a widening monetary policy divergence between both the U.S. and Japan. The Bank of Japan is committed to ultra easy monetary policy in order to support economic recovery, while the Federal Reserve keeps on aggressively raising interest rates in order to combat surging inflation. So that's what you got there. We also have more with this busy week, not just earnings, but we have the preliminary estimate for Q3 GDP growth, which is definitely something that you're going to want to check out as well. And yeah, besides that, you do have earnings. I don't know if I talked about earnings yet, but I do want to say, guys, you do have the big boys. You've got Alphabet, which I have been buying. You've got Microsoft. Stay away from that. Haven't been touching that. Twitter, Meta. Good luck with Meta. Amazon, which I do own in my portfolio. And then you have Apple, among other major companies that will be reporting their results. So again, you guys know it's going to be very important to hear what all these companies are saying because it's going to get us an inside look onto the supply chain stuff, the liquidity issues. It's going to give us an inside look onto like the overall economy and the recession and just how the overall consumer is doing. We're going to get a lot of information from these companies and their earnings. And yes, on this channel, I do plan to actually go over them because I think it's important. I think that you guys care about it. So we are going to start to pivot and move into that direction. Okay. Also in the United Kingdom, Britain's governing Conservative Party is electing a new leader for the second time this year. We should see that happen sometime next week. Now, for those who don't know, Boris Johnson, who was the prime minister before Liz Truss was actually fired from his position, he actually was trying to run again and become the prime minister. And he actually was the leading candidate. Like, he was getting a lot of votes and stuff. But then all of a sudden, randomly, about 2 hours ago, he randomly dropped out. So he's no longer going to run for prime minister again. I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody threatened his family or said, you better step down or else, or what the heck is going on with that. But yeah, so Boris Johnson is out of the race. So I don't know who's the next person going to be, but it won't be Boris Johnson, folks. Now, here's what I'm personally looking at. I do want people to kind of focus their attention. I know we're like a few weeks away, but kind of focus your attention on the next CPI reading, the next inflation readings. And the reason why is because I really do believe, guys, that gasoline prices is going to be a headwind going forward for the next inflation print, and that could create more pain for markets. It absolutely can. So definitely something for you guys to keep in mind. And ultimately, the last thing that I do want to say, I want to keep this in mind, is I do still think that in this environment, the garbage YouTube stocks are going to continue to suffer. Now, that doesn't mean that I would short these stocks at these prices. I definitely wouldn't do that. That's a big no, 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 no. However, I just would not be buying companies like this. Let me give you the perfect example. You know, if you take somebody like an Amit, right, whose entire portfolio is Palantir, SoFi, and Gringo Bioworks, you know, a bunch of penny stocks. You don't want to invest like that. Your portfolio should not be all unprofitable growth company penny stocks, especially in this environment. That is not a great way to build long-term wealth at all. That's a great way to lose a lot of your money, as a matter of fact, in my personal opinion. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. But yeah, those are you guys' updates. I will start going over individual stocks and talking about them again. That is something that I plan to do because I do want to create some value on this channel, because remember, this is a finance channel. And the last thing I want to say, I know I said I was going to say the last thing, but here's the real last thing. This will be a purely finance channel. I think you guys know that by now, but I do have a drama channel as well. And that drama channel gets 3 times the amount of views that this channel does, which is absolutely hilarious. So you want to follow me on there? You like the drama? You like hearing about bull crap? Okay, well, go ahead and follow Echoes from Below, and you'll be able to hear all the drama and me do my thing. So anyway, there you guys have it. That will go ahead and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.